primary access points to the tower were destroyed in the explosion. The pipeline is damaged but still intact. There are thrust boots in the maintenance hangar. You can use them to traverse the pipeline.
And I could also use the R key to switch mods. Very convenient, given I kind of need this to be a relatively easy to access key. Especially considering when we go in here, look to our left, we find our first Revenant of the game. These guys are really not that much different from the Revenants that you've faced before in previous games, except for the fact that their missiles don't home in on enemies anymore. Instead, they just fire a shit ton more of them at once. So instead of having the smart, intelligent way to shoot me, and that is to have something that aims directly at me and can actually move itself so that it can actually hit me. I didn't even know what the hell I was on about there. Instead, they just kind of feel like throwing them at me willy-nilly. That's not exactly the best trade-off though, especially given the fact that they're not that difficult to get rid of, especially if you have the super shotgun. If you didn't get the super shotgun from the little area that I found earlier in the previous level, you will get one later on here, and it's literally sitting right in front of you, so there's no real excuse to not get that one at the least. I believe the only way to make any progress from here is to go into this room and collect the boots that Vega referred to. So now we have a double jump. We have literally claimed the space jump boots from Metroid Prime. That's literally all they are, but they are still as useful as they always have been. Especially since I now have access to one of the rune trials in this level. And I believe there's also an Argent cell nearby. Yeah. So we've got a couple of things that we can pick up over here before we move on. Assuming I can actually get up here, which I can. Oh. And what direction do I want to go to get to that? It's just up here. Jump across here, and then jump up here. And we have our first, the 2 Argent cells in this level. And I might as well give Armor a bit of a boost here. I think I'll be right for ammo, because there's 2 of them in this level, as I said earlier. So I can invest 1 in armor and then probably invest 1 of the others into ammo. Plus, it's a free 75 points of armor. Anyways, there is also the matter of the rune trial that's just over in this direction. So if we can get over there in a speedy manner. Yeah, there's another armor shield there, which is entirely useless to us because of the armor pickup that I grabbed. But here we are getting the ammo boost. Increase value of ammo. That's actually not too bad, but anyways. I believe this rune trial, if you take it, is actually your first encounter against the Unwilling. They are quite literally a more hellish version of the possessed zombies. That's literally all that they are. Much like the Hellraiser is a palette swap of the possessed soldier, these are literally the same counterpart to the possessed. That's literally all they are. As such, you can proceed to blow them to pieces quite freely with the super shotgun. Which is the reason that this is easy in the first place. Aside from the fact that you could probably still use the pistol and be precise enough to get headshots and kill them in one hit anyway. But at least this way you're actually guaranteeing yourself the one-shots. Now, if the game would like to be nice to me at some point and actually... Oh, hello. Come on. Yeah, we got this. Got this by the balls. I don't know what I was saying there, but whatever. We have the ammo boost. I believe when we get the other one in this level, the other rune trial, we will have access to our second rune slot so we can run 2 of them at the same time. Until then, probably just going to stick with the vacuum. It's easily the most useful one so far. Now, I believe if I can get up here by jumping on these tires and then jumping across over here. I think there's just some ammo here though. Yeah. And more armor. So if you didn't get an armor pickup from that Argent cell, then there's a shitload of armor for you to use. That one I just used the double jump. I never even used the first jump. I just jumped in the air. Quite smart, but this is where the bulk of the level's going to... Well, this itself is not quite where the bulk of the level's going to take place, but as you can see, there's a lot of parkour here, and you're going to get a lot of use out of your boots. That's literally the only purpose that this level serves. You have to climb up a tower, and the game decides, well, you need some boots for that. It's also a good place to use the scope here, because you'll be hitting imps from distances. Another one of those few and far between moments where you can just sit where you are and snipe enemies from a distance, because they're trying to hit you from a distance as well. But you can instead just beast them out like that. If any of those... Oh, okay, I thought there was a barrel behind me. There was a barrel behind me, and one of the fireballs hit it and killed me. I'd have... Hello. Now you can cop death from a different direction. From a different method, I suppose. Alright. Jump across. I am incredibly bored, and to be perfectly honest, I could probably get rid of... Okay, I've just lost my freaking wording right there. I'm recording this at like 1 in the morning on a Thursday morning when I have only uploaded the first 3 segments of the LP, and this is probably parts... This is 8 at least that's being recorded right now, and I don't know how many more segments I'm going to get from this level, so I could probably be done with next week's segments, even though I'm only halfway done with the week before it. Only because I'm just in the mood to record as well. I could just sleep, but whatever. I probably should, because I'd like to have some kind of opportunity to see my sister when she's up in the hospital. She's actually got to be up in... Really, she's got about 4 hours to get up before she has to get up and go to the hospital. She's got to be there at 6 in the morning, because she's actually a couple of days past her due date and is going to finally get her 5th child out. So we can all say hello and feed it and change it and all that sort of jazz. I, in the meantime, am going to just sort of, instead of taking off nappies, that's what they call down here in Australia, I'm just going to take the arm off of that Hell Knight. Just because I find that more fun. And it doesn't stink either. This counts as a secret, really? Okay, well, that's 2 secrets. Also, those guys really annoy the shit out of me. That's a bit better. Isn't there a codex entry here? Yeah, there is. I think I've already missed one in the previous level, so I can't get 100% of those, but still on track to get 100% of these. I'll take the lock-on burst, actually. Lock-on burst is pretty much what it says on the tin here for the rocket launcher. You just lock onto an enemy, and when you do so, it fires a 3-rocket burst. It's actually pretty good, especially fighting against bosses later on, because you're getting a lot of damage output. So go around there. There is the suit of armor. That over there, that weird blue orb. If you've played Doom before, you have a fair idea about what it is. And by Doom, I mean just Doom in general and not actually this game. You'll have a fair idea about what it is. You will probably be wrong. It just depends on what you're thinking that it might be. I mean, you could be intelligent enough to pick up on the fact that it might have been what you're thinking. But whatever. I'm just turning myself around with my brain. Here's the first of the elite guards yielding a Praetor token. Okay, getting up there. The reason I consider this the worst level of the game is because I'm not entirely opposed to the parkour itself. Oh, hang on. I think there's dialogue here.
That's an Argent accumulator she's carrying. She'll try to use it to open a portal manually into hell.
While the Argent Tower is non-functional, the connection to their dimension is still viable. We are at great risk, Dr. Hayden.
Okay, no more dialogue. Anyways, oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, there goes my train of thought. I really hate when that happens. I kept it in my mind as well as I was watching this cutscene. And I somehow still managed to forget exactly what the hell it was I was going on a tangent about. Yeah, I've literally drawn a blank. That pisses me off so much. If I can remember it, then I might talk about it in the next segment, or later on in this segment, if I'm able to remember it while I'm recording, but... Nah, that pisses me off. Speaking of which, I probably shouldn't be killing all these enemies, because I believe one of the challenges here involves killing a whole bunch of enemies while you're goosed up on a power-up. And it will not be difficult, considering I've just picked up not a soul spear, but I've in fact picked up a quad damage. Damn it. I think there is at least one more quad damage somewhere in this level, so I should be able to get the challenge done anyway. There's an imp up here. There's another one. Oh, come on. Where'd it go? Yeah, I'm not paying much attention to shit at the moment now, am I? I apologize for this. But at least I'm trying to keep the ums and ahs away. That's still a bit of a struggle. Okay, now... There is... a codex entry over there. I could worry about that. I'm not going to. Yeah, the thing with this is you can't unlock the third one until you've unlocked the first two when you're upgrading Praetor's suit, so whatever. I'll probably go with Warhead and Quick Lock. How about that? And we'll leave those other four for now. And Praetor's suit, I'll just go with that. As well as... Depends on how many points are required for this one. I might upgrade this one to max, because that'll get me a... thing... an achievement for just maxing out one of the categories in that, so... Let's move on. Oh, wait. I thought that there was... Isn't the other collectible doll supposed to be here? Or a collectible doll supposed to be here? Because I remember in a playthrough on the Xbox One, I missed that collectible doll and I actually went back and redid the level. No bullshit either. I literally just went back and redid the level. Okay, so now I'm about to find out if I did just miss that collectible doll. The answer is no. No, no. Nah, it's fine. It's all good. I can just quickly rush on over here and collect it from over here once I've worked out how that is done. Ah, alright. And then up we go. Yeah, this is the bulk of the level itself, by the way, is just you jumping around and up and down this place. So, as to work out exactly where the hell you're supposed to go. And it's not immediately obvious either. That's what makes it really annoying. But that's one of the collectible dolls. And then we are maxed out on rockets, so we don't have to worry about that. And I think we're about ready to go into the main area. This is where the bulk of the level is going to take place. You have to climb this tower from the inside, and it involves a lot of parkour, a lot of rather unobvious parkour. And upon entering this, we are met with some great resistance from a Mancubus. Quite uglier than it was in its previous incarnations. Although this one looks a bit more savage than ugly. I still maintain Doom 3's is the ugliest just because it's got all the things, like, it's got that mouth section sort of hanging off of it. It's not very nice. Okay, so I found myself getting killed in this area a fair amount of times because on top of the very obvious mancubi around the place, there's a whole bunch of Hell Knights that you've got to deal with at the same time. Thankfully, there is this that I can collect. I'll go ahead and collect that right now. Because fucked you up. Switch this over, actually. Oh, hello. Could do with some killing the enemies. Okay, that works. Like I said in the first segment, I think, if you kill a whole bunch of enemies when you have low health, they'll all drop a shitload of health. And you'll be alright, because you'll just get a whole bunch of health all at once. I'm a bit copping flack from somewhere. Oh, must not forget we encountered Revs for the first time in this level earlier. Oh yeah, they can do that. Just sort of jump in the air like that, but staggering them just switches that jetpack off and then they're sitting ducks. Now let's go ahead and pick up whatever we possibly can to max our stats. Because we're only at the bottom of this stupid tower. We've got to go all the way up to the top. I think we want to... Yeah, we want to hit one of these and then it will bring us up here so that we can jump on one of these, which will take us up. Let's switch to these. I imagine the scope will be useful, but a fair few of the skirmishes from here are going to be pretty much... The enemies are going to be, for the most part, on the same level of ground as you, so... Distance might still play a bit of a part, but not quite as much as it has before in this level, so...
The accumulator's energy signature indicates that it is nearing the top of this Argent facility.
And... okay, there's that. Still missing an Argent cell, as well as an Elite Guard, which I think are up... further up there. Yeah, I can see the... I can see at least the Argent cell. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything else here, so... I'm just making sure that I don't miss out on anything.
That accumulator near the Argent base. She could open a portal to their world that we will never be able to close.
Okay, thank you for telling me, Dr. Hayden. Oh yeah, that reminds me as well. When I fell there, I was kind of worried that I was going to get killed. Reason for that is because this is I think the only level in the game where you can actually die of fall damage that does not involve just dropping into an endless pit of death. You can in fact just drop down far enough to just splat on the floor. And you don't want that.